So IraqVeteran 8888, OG gun tuber, been around for a very long time. He's gone through a few different phases or whatnot, but he's definitely one of the OGs, so to speak. Now, recently, he's been getting a lot more outspoken on X and Instagram or whatnot about what he sees as problems in America, in the community, or whatnot. And he's been upsetting a lot of people for his somewhat controversial takes, I guess, because he's been calling out a lot of the people behind some of the things going on in our country. And he's now kind of seeing the repercussions of that. So this is just an email from Borelli that is terminating his affiliate links, and he emailed them back with no response. Allegedly, coming from the inside, he also had to cancel his IraqVeteran 8888 range day, which is a pretty big range day that a lot of YouTubers go to. They have a lot of vendors there. Allegedly, they had to cancel that due to lack of vendor interest, is the claim going on there. But if we scroll through now, a lot of the stuff you'll notice is his X page is essentially just a affiliate link marketing scheme. But really simple things like this. Like, this is his regular take: dual citizens should not be allowed to hold office. I think that's actually a fairly reasonable position, but that would unfairly or fairly affect one country more than most. I think we all know which one. He has some better BBB passes. Epstein list disappears. We might talk about that in just a minute. Lots of generic stuff. Country over war bucks. Again, just pretty normal takes. But then there's a few times where he calls out individuals or nations or whatnot. And it's just, I guess, a little bit too spicy for the internet. So the title or the thumbnail says, "What did it cost you?" And whether or not you agree with IV8888, I actually do like that he's willing to put his money where his mouth is, so to speak, and actually take a financial hit to speak out against what he dislikes. Right. There's actually something there that I really like. Even though I don't particularly agree with any of his gun takes per se, I actually like the fact that he is willing to stand up. Right. And take a bit of a hit financially.
Yeah, I mean, it shows that, I'll agree that some of the things he says about gun stuff, I'm like, interesting. But I mean, standing up for what you believe in and in a formal way like that, shows that you're willing to stand against the tide. Sucks that he had to, get his bottom line, hurt because of it. But, it shows that he's not going to cower just to make some money.
Mm.
In other words, very based.
Yeah, and I mean, we all kind of know like what gets you in trouble and what doesn't. Like, you can make fun of Italians all you'd like, but there's a certain other group of people that will get you into a little bit more trouble than others for calling out for when they do bad things, right? Nope, not that one, Richard. It is what's it? It's anti what's a good word? Anti-mobster, there's some word there that you could use for it, I'm sure. But yeah, most everything that he does nowadays is just affiliate links. And I mean, lots of people do that sort of thing for their marketing. That's how they make money or whatnot. But yeah. Any further thoughts on that, gentlemen?
I think it's awesome that he's actually standing up and being like, "Hey, why did you cancel me? I know why you canceled me. I just want you to tell everyone why you canceled me."
Yeah, I need an actual reason. Don't just vague post about it.
Vague post.
You know what, though? I find it interesting that he's still got PSA affiliates, though.
Well, allegedly, like he makes good money at this stuff. I've heard numbers as high as 6 figures for some of the big PSA affiliates, like six figures per month. Sorry, to be clear. For some of the PSA affiliate guys, like the top 6 or whatnot. So these guys pull in some serious money from that. So I mean, you could say, well, he has a lot of money, so who cares if he loses a little bit? He's been doing this for a very long time, and he's been very, very successful at monetizing it.
I do find it a little bit ironic that you can notice certain things, but if you notice problems with the Jackal, then boop, you immediately cut off. Notice problems with the AHC, boop, cut off.
Yeah. I mean, there's some of that. I think, PSA is sensitive to PSA problems. They don't care about anybody else.
Yeah, I never took IraqVeteran 88 very seriously. I also never really had a problem with him. It always just seemed kind of you always knew what you were getting with him. I never took his gun very seriously.
He had some cool older like legacy gun tube stuff, like the old, how far will a 9mm kill? And you're like, I mean, this is, we'll see what this is about, right? Like, it's kind of interesting. Somebody's, pushing the envelope or 22 and all that. But recently he made his, it was kind of funny. The recent video I saw of his was my ultimate AR. And it was just like a 10.5 Daniel Defense with like a Neotech magnifier. And he didn't even have a sling or iron sights on it, no light. And I was like, all right, seems kind of like just in a Daniel Defense ad, but hey, I guess, you could definitely have worse setups.
Yeah, there are worse ways to go about it. I mean, that's a lot of GunTube content, though. It is just content for content's sake, or for, talking about whatever product. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of it is. And I think, he was one of the first guys to really get it down to a formula, I suppose, like a 10-minute review where he shoots a bunch of water bottles or watermelons or whatever it happens to be, and then move on from there. It's like 200 rounds in a day, finish your video, and you're good to go.
I think his original formula was the gun gripes. That's what first really started getting the channel going, was him and Barry doing the gun gripes, where they were just filming videos from inside the counter at the pawn shop. And some of those were fun, but I always thought that they were satirical, and until later on I find out that they were actually serious about some of this stuff.
They also did the burn downs, which were kind of cool.
They did,
yeah. I remember the burn downs back in the day when those got like 2 million views on YouTube or something stupid like that, right? Not anymore, but
Golden Webs, he's doing them now.
Yeah, but I mean, they're not getting pushed in the YouTube algorithm like they would have back in 2012 or something like that, right?
Absolutely not.
It's a completely different market, and also the gun community has kind of moved past, in a good way, moved past some of the sillier content that's out there. It's not just about blowing up an AR or blowing up X gun or whatnot.
Yeah, I do think that burn downs are useful still, but it's kind of like redlining a car. Like you're accelerating wear on a very excessive degree, which isn't inherently bad, but I don't think it's the be all end all either.
Well, yeah, and I just think it's one facet of a weapon's performance, right? So it's like a lot of the Golden Web stuff. I'm like, if this rifle does 1,104 rounds and this rifle does 10,000 or 1,064, it's like, what's the real difference there? Nothing. Nothing at all.
Yeah,
it's so irrelevant to anything you're ever going to do. Not to mention, it's still just a one-off test, so it's like,
yeah, exactly.
It's fun to watch, I guess.
Yeah, it's fun to see when will this thing explode or fail because it can't be heated that much.
Yeah, I think like a lot of people are like me. They just watched it for the catastrophic failure just to see what the fail point is, and that's all there is to it. Like some of them, I couldn't believe how much the barrel was bending before it finally blew out the side. It was amazing to see that the rounds were still going down the barrel with that much of a
right with a hole out the side. Yeah,
it was wild.